wife of Imam Hassan, Joda bint Ashtar. He bribed the wife of Imam Hassan and said that if you poison your husband, I'll make sure you get married to my son, who's going to be the future king. And you have all the riches, not a difficult life like this. And she did poison. And Imam Hassan was poisoned by a very severe poison brought from Damascus to Medina and administered to him by his own wife. Sometimes the biggest dangers are from within our families. So make sure we teach the right things to our children so they stand up, they know what is true and what is not, what is right and what is wrong. May Allah bless us with guidance and forbearance, inshallah. Now, when Imam Hussein was administered the poison, it was so strong that he started vomiting blood. And with his blood came out bits of his organs, bits of his liver. Imam Hussein saw this and he started crying. He shed bitter tears. But Imam Hassan helped him and he said, "Oh Hussein, this, what is happening to me, is insignificant compared to what is going to happen to you. There is no day like yours, O Abu Abdullah, when 30,000 will stand baying for your blood." And then, even at the time of his death, when he was suffering from poison, Imam Hassan could see what was happening in Karbala. And he tied an amulet on his young son, Qaseem at that time. He was very little boy. He tied an amulet and told Qaseem's mother to open this amulet only when you are facing a severe crisis in life. And Imam Hassan passed away. And Imam Hussein took up the reins. He took up the reins of Imamah. And he was in Medina for 10 years. He survived Muawiyah. Muawiyah died. And then Yazid caused all the trouble to him. Today is the evening or the eve of the 7th of Muharram, my dear brothers and sisters, and we commemorate Qaseem, the son of Imam Hassan. Now, Imam Hassan was not just represented by Qaseem, but he was also represented by Imam Hassan's oldest son, Hassan al-Muthanna. And there was another child by the name of Abdullah. Somewhere it's written that it was Imam Hassan's son, somewhere it is said that it is not Imam Hassan's son, but Hassan al-Muthanna's son. Now, I leave it for you to decide who it was. What I'm trying to say is that Imam Hassan was well represented in Karbala. And Hassan al-Muthanna fought in the Battle of Karbala. He was hit and left for dead, but he survived. When people came later on, they saw signs of life in him, and they took him away, and he survived. And the Sadat of Imam Hassan are from his progeny. But Imam Hussein was very fond of Qaseem, the son of Imam Hassan, his brother. He was a little boy when Imam Hassan died, and he used to sleep on Imam Hussein's chest. He was of very fine constitution, in the sense that he had fine skin. And Imam Hussein brought him the best clothes, the finest clothes, so that his skin was sensitive, so he was given the best gifts and the best clothes, so that he'd be comfortable. Now, Qaseem was there in Karbala, and on the night of Ashura, on the eve of Ashura rather, when Imam Hussein was reading out the names of the martyrs, he saw a little boy. He wasn't little at that time, he was a teenager of 14 years of age, people say, in the reports. He said that he saw a 14-year-old boy shedding tears. Imam Hussein couldn't bear it. He asked his nephew, "Why do you cry, my dear nephew?" And Qaseem, this wasn't any ordinary teenager, by the way. His reply was, "My dear uncle, you did not read out my name on the list of martyrs on the day of Ashura." And Imam Hussein was struck. And he asked his nephew, "How do you see death, my dear nephew?" And Qaseem, being no ordinary teenager, he said, "Death in your way, uncle, is sweeter than honey." Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Our salam goes to these people, my dear brothers and sisters. These people have endeavored so hard. They've given up everything to bring the rightful religion to us. This young man, you can't call him a young man, this young boy showed such fortitude on the day of Ashura. When the battle was happening and people were dying, he kept going to his uncle seeking permission to go for battle, to fight the enemy for the sake of Imam Hussein and the truth. And Imam Hussein would not give him permission. He said, I cannot let you to go and die. You are the only son of my brother. But Qasim would be very sad. And he went tearful to his mother. And he said, Uncle is not giving me permission to go to battle. And the mother of Qasim, she remembered the amulet that her husband Imam Hassan had tied on this son of his. And she thought, this is the greatest day of crisis. What other day can it be to open this amulet? And she opened the amulet, and in this was instructions to Imam Hussein to send his son to fight for the cause of the truth. And Qasim was overjoyed. And he took this instruction in his amulet to Imam Hussein, his uncle. And he said, look, uncle, this is an instruction for you from my father. And Imam Hussein was grief-stricken. And he said, I can't do anything more. This is an instruction from my Imam, and I have to abide by it. O Qasim, go and sacrifice yourself for the truth. Imam Hussein himself dressed him up. He put the Imam Hassan alayhi salam, on Qasim's head. And he tore the collar from the front and put the end of the amama towards the front. This was a sign of an orphan in the Arabic culture at that time. Abbas had taught Qasim the art of warfare, and he tried to get him onto the steed or the horse, but the boy was too young to go onto the horse on his own. So Abbas had to lift him up on the horse. And the boy's feet were so little that they would not go into the stirrups of the horse. You know, the stirrups are the place where you put your feet when you're riding a horse. And the boy's feet would not go in there. He was so young. There was no armor for a little boy like that. But yet Qasim was happy and ready to go and fight. And Imam Hussein let him go grief-stricken. Qasim went to battle. He fought. And there was a fighter in the army of Ibn Ziyad by the name of Arda. He sent 4 sons of his. He was supposed to be a ferocious warrior, equivalent to 100 people. He sent his sons to fight Qasim, thinking this is a young boy. But he had forgotten that this was the grandson of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Qasim fought and sent each of Arzaq's sons to hell one by one. Arzaq was really furious, and he came down himself to fight Qasim, and then Qasim sent him to hell as well. Hamid ibn Muslim, who narrates this incident, says that Qasim's shoelace had become untied, and he bent down to fix it. And then the army saw and attacked him at one go and ambushed him. And Qasim fell off his horse and screamed for Imam Hussein, "Oh uncle, come and help me." And Imam Hussein went out like a man possessed to help his nephew. But the army had let the horses run on Qasim. And this little boy who had fallen down was run over by horses and trampled before Imam Hussein could come down to him. And by the time Imam reached him, life had ebbed out of this young boy. And Imam Hussein was grief-stricken, and he cried, "Forgive me, my nephew, I could not come down to help you." The body was so badly trampled, my dear brothers and sisters, that when Imam Hussein tried to pick him up, he could not pick the body. His limbs had to be collected to take him to the tent. And he took his limbs to the tent. And it was a scenario of grief and wailing from the mothers and the sisters and the ladies of Imam Hussein's tent. "Ala la'natullah ala qawmi zalimin, sayalamu allazina ayya yanqalibun munqalibin. Inna lillahi wa inna alayhi raji'un." My dear brothers and sisters, we remember these sacrifices, and we ask Allah to accept these remembrances and these offerings and give us the blessings of guidance to side by the truth always, from now on till we die. Inshallah. We recited the ayat of Amma Yujibu 5 times.